Due to his contribution and inspirational approach, Frank Gehry is the architect we admire. In the 47 years Gehry has been practicing as an architect, he's created a succession of works. His best known consist of the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, Spain, the Walt Disney Concert Hall in downtown Los Angeles, as well as his own residence in Santa Monica, California, all of which have become iconic examples of architecture of their age. His buildings have become tourist attractions and have stamped a huge mark on architectural design and achievement. Museums seek Gehry's services and talent as a badge of distinction and trademark beyond the product he delivers. Gehry's influences started from a very young age. His grandmother would help him to build structures in small cities out of pieces of scrap wood. A popular underlying influence and trademark of Gehry's work is the form of a fish, which is evident in numerous works such as the Guggenheim Museum, DZ Bank Building, and the Villa Olympica. This influence is believed to have come from his grandma, who would keep carp destined for the Sabbath dinner in the bathtub, in which Gehry would observe the movement and forms of the fish. These forms are not only reflected in the shape of the structures, but also reflected and reinforced in the materials that Gehry uses, such as the Guggenheim Museum, where he has used Spanish limestone and titanium panels for the exterior cladding, which reflects the water and light similar to that of a fish's scales. Gehry explains how he finds paintings as a way of training the eye, looking at the composition and how the ideas of space can be experimented through art. Gehry states himself that a lot of the time he works from the inside out, and that he is very involved with sculpture, art, dance and music, from which he takes his nourishment in the development of ideas. Gehry has a very unique design process, as he starts with fluid sketches and exploratory models. Software is then used to conceive progressively more elaborate sculptural forms. The technology is not considered the driver of the architecture, but instead a tool to help engineer a form. Some projects are the result of only a few sketches, whereas others are the result of a lot of developmental work. Complications are seen as a means of gradually building up the form and design, rather than a hindrance. A priority for all of Gehry's work is what does the building say to people on the street? How does it welcome them? He wants people to be able to interact with his ideas and not be intimidated by them. Although we find ourselves to be a great fan and admirer of Gehry's work and his approach, there are elements that could be proved to be problematic. For example, the Guggenheim Museum is one of his greatest achievements. It stands in a decayed urban area, alien to its surroundings, built on an abandoned portion of industrial land. As in a gigantic game of Chinese boxes within boxes, this museum visually occupies the heart of the city, and its mass has become the city centre. It could be argued that it is designed with a sense of arrogance, and as a statement. However, although some of his work could be argued not to be appropriate, his designs are fresh, futuristic, a stepping stone for future designers to look upon and create furthermore.